Welcome to our channel, where we explore the most pressing issues facing our world today. In this video, we're going to delve into the complex and multifaceted issue of wealth inequality in developing countries. We'll explore the reasons behind this persistent problem, including historical and cultural legacies, corruption and poor governance, limited access to credit and capital, and international trade policies. So sit back, relax, and join us on this important journey. Wealth inequality is a pressing issue that affects the entire world, but it is especially acute in developing countries. In these nations, the gap between the rich and poor is often staggering. According to the World Inequality Database, the top 10% of income earners in developing countries earn nearly 45% of the total income, while the bottom 50% earn less than 15%. This level of inequality can have devastating consequences, including poverty, poor health, and limited opportunities for social and economic mobility. One of the key factors contributing to wealth inequality in developing countries is historical and cultural legacies. Many of these nations have a long history of colonization and exploitation by foreign powers. As a result, they were often left with weak economies and limited industrial capacity. Today, they continue to struggle with a lack of access to education and technology, making it difficult for them to compete in the global marketplace. Lack of access to education and technology are key drivers of economic growth, but many developing countries lack access to these resources. Without a well-educated workforce and the latest technology, it is difficult for these countries to compete in the global marketplace. This makes it harder for them to attract foreign investment and to build industries that can create jobs and generate wealth. Another major factor contributing to wealth inequality in developing countries is corruption and poor governance. When government officials and business leaders are corrupt, they siphon off resources that could be used for public services and economic development. This leaves the poor and marginalized without access to basic services such as healthcare, education, and clean water. Limited access to credit and capital is also a major issue in many developing countries. Banks and other financial institutions are often reluctant to lend to entrepreneurs and small businesses, making it difficult for them to start or expand their businesses. This limits the growth of the private sector, which is a key driver of economic growth and job creation. International trade policies also play a role in wealth inequality between developed and developing countries. Many developed countries have implemented protectionist trade policies that make it difficult for developing countries to compete in the global marketplace. For example, high tariffs and non-tariff barriers can make it difficult for developing countries to export their goods and services, limiting their ability to generate wealth and create jobs. Geopolitical realities are another major factor contributing to wealth inequality in developing countries. Conflict and instability can make it difficult for these countries to attract foreign investment and to build the institutions needed for economic growth. In addition, the dominance of developed countries in global institutions such as the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund can make it difficult for developing countries to access the resources they need to support economic development. Despite these challenges, there are many examples of developing countries that have managed to achieve economic growth and reduce wealth inequality. For example, countries such as China, India, and Brazil have seen significant economic growth over the past few decades, lifting millions of people out of poverty. These countries have been successful in implementing policies that encourage entrepreneurship, investment, and innovation, while also investing in education, healthcare, and infrastructure. In conclusion, the reasons behind the persistent wealth gap between developed and developing countries are complex and multifaceted. Historical and cultural legacies, limited access to education and technology, corruption and poor governance, limited access to credit and capital, international trade policies, and geopolitical realities all contribute to this issue. However, there are also examples of countries that have managed to overcome these challenges and achieve economic growth and reduced inequality. Through sustained efforts and investment, we can work towards creating a more just and equitable world. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into wealth inequality in developing countries. We hope this video has shed some light on this important issue and inspired you to take action in your own way. Whether it's supporting policies that promote economic growth and social justice or supporting organizations that work to lift up the most marginalized in our society, every little bit helps. So let's work together to create a more just and equitable world for all. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.